I'm going to show you both loaded and body weight options. I'm on the Advanced Zero program, so that means I actually use all of what I'm going to show you in this video because I do an even amount of sessions. I do 2 leg days, 1 body weight, 1 loaded, and I do 2 hip and upper body days, 1 body weight, 1 loaded. So we'll start with the loaded option. Now, the upper body work that I do is all about bulletproofing and anti-gravity. So this is arguably my favorite upper body exercise to open up for acrobatic jumping in the air. I currently only advise up to 25% of your body weight. Doesn't mean you couldn't go higher, but I found that's enough leverage-wise to create the amount of range of motion that we want. And you're gonna see how even within the same weight, it can be much tougher. So first off, think of this as starting with just your own arms, then 1 pound, 2 pound, and so on. So you're never ever working through pain, and it only works by working at your 100% pain-free level. Now, again, I'm showing you the heavy one here, so it might be a little bit harder to talk mid-set, but if you wanna get that dumbbell onto your chest, you then want a triangular grip, and you wanna press up. Now I'm positioning my back just so that my shoulders have room to go off. And you'll notice with my hips, I'm lowering my hips, because if I keep my hips up, then I don't get as much of a stretch. So I'm keeping my hips down while I keep my elbows as straight as I can and lower as deep as I can. So that's creating in the bottom position an angle that's going to reverse out sitting. So in the bottom position, it's measurable. Are my hips and elbows lower than my shoulders? We know that when we sit for too many hours, we wind up with a spine, percentage-wise, that can't extend back enough. And that doesn't only lead to problems in the middle of the back. That leads, statistically, to more lower back pain, neck problems, shoulder pain, surgeries. So we're more likely to have neck, shoulder, or back surgeries if we spend too much time sitting. So I'm not proposing the alternates to that. Other people can come up with alternates to sitting. I still sit like a mofo, but I do this and I have that measurable target. So that's the purpose of a standard. That's the purpose of a goal to shoot for, is that it gives you something that most people can't do, that most people could do if they work towards it. Now, without that, and I'm not the world's expert on this, a gymnast or someone like that could teach you much better. But for my intents and purposes, I actually bring my legs close together, and now I put my hands flat, and I just think about those upper back muscles extending. So again, I'm not trying to claim to be an expert on training the bridge, but that balances out my sessions, and it's pretty cool that I have 2 options, that I have the pullover and the bridge to work that area. Now, to be complete, we would also work the opposite of that motion, which with body weight is very simple because you have something like a Superman, and I'm just thinking with those lower traps. So you actually have, you know, these like trap muscles up here, traps. It's shaped like a trapezoid, and the 3rd row comes down, almost what feels like lower back, but it's just higher. So you're thinking with the middle of your back to flex those muscles. And particularly if you open up first, you'll really feel those muscles turn on. Now, that's the easier version. And the loaded version is actually one of the tougher forms that I coach, period. So please understand that I never intended for difficult forms like what I'm about to show you to just be tried willy-nilly. My whole career, I wasn't on social media because I thought it'd be ridiculous to try to coach these movements without form coaching. So I only went online once I figured out, okay, we can actually coach the form online. So when people do this, I'm expecting to see the last set until the form is perfect. You want to set your bench close to 45 degrees. I'm using the Flybird off Amazon. So this was one of the cheaper ones I could find on Amazon. It came pre-assembled, which was unbelievable, and it's plenty sturdy for these purposes. Now on this, I suggest starting with just your arms, then 1 pound and so on. I only advise up to 10% of your body weight, again, because most people cannot do what I'm about to show you right now. You rest on your knees, and then you want your abs pressed against the bench. So you don't want to come back, which could cheat the motion. The abs stay against the bench. The elbows stay locked. And now I have to raise my arms in line with my body and hold it there, and then slowly come back down. And I'm raising my arms at 45-degree angles
to each other. So right there, so not a 90, 45, elbows locked, fight it, back down. Looks so simple, so much tougher, but now you're really working those lower trap muscles. So I would call this an incline dumbbell Superman, because the name Trap 3 Raise unfortunately didn't catch on, but that's what we're trying to work. We're trying to work that lowest level of traps, so we open up and then lock it in to statistically reduce our chances of not just mid-back problems, but lower back, shoulder, and neck problems. And now you have solutions you can do with weights or without. I believe in training them evenly. Remember that my philosophy on life is the truth is inclusion, not exclusion. Exclusions can seem easier at first. Here's a quick fix to a problem, blah, blah, blah. Just do this or just do that. But I'm finding better results in training by balancing body weight and free weight, by training both sides of something that I want.